Now touch your pinky finger to your thumb and gently lift your hand toward you. Look at your wrist. For most of you, a thin cord just popped up in the middle of your forearm, pulled tight like a guitar string. That cord is a muscle called the palmaris longus. And here's the thing, it does basically nothing. You can remove it entirely and your grip won't get any weaker. Surgeons actually harvest it for spare parts. But about 1 in 10 of you just looked down and saw nothing. No cord. And you are not broken. If anything, you're slightly more evolved than the rest of us. Because that muscle is a leftover. And your body, it turns out, is absolutely full of them. Here's what almost nobody tells you. A surprising amount of your body isn't built for the life you're living. It's built for the life your ancestors lived. Climbing trees, swiveling their ears toward predators, puffing up their fur to look bigger. Those animals are long gone, but their hardware is still installed in you, just switched off. Some of these leftover parts genuinely do nothing anymore. Others, scientists have only recently realized, got quietly handed a brand new job. So useless isn't quite the right word. The better word is leftover. Today I'm taking you on a tour of the strange, half-forgotten parts of your own body. Muscles you can't feel, reflexes you can't control, and the one organ that, in the last video, was actively trying to kill you. By the end, you will not look at your own reflection the same way again. Let's start with one you can see this second. Go to a mirror and look at the inner corner of your eye, the bit nearest your nose. See that small pink fold of tissue sitting there? That is the leftover of a third eyelid. Fish have it. Frogs have it. Birds, reptiles, even plenty of mammals have a fully working version. A clear membrane that sweeps sideways across the eye to clean it, protect it, and in some animals, even let them see underwater. You had one too, far back down the family tree. Today, all that's left is that little pink corner. It's not completely useless, it still helps shepherd your tears toward the drain in the corner of your eye. But that small chore is a faint echo of what it once did. A whole protective eyelid, shrunk down to a damp little fold you'll never get to use, sitting in the corner of your eye, just watching. Next, can you wiggle your ears? Some of you can, most of you can't, no matter how hard you screw up your face trying. But either way, every one of you has 3 muscles around each ear whose entire purpose is to move it. In a cat, a deer, a horse, these are incredibly useful. They swivel the ears like little radar dishes to lock onto a sound without moving the head. You have the exact same muscles. They're just unplugged. And here's the eerie part. When something suddenly startles you, those muscles still twitch, quietly trying to aim ears that haven't turned in millions of years. So the ear wigglers out there aren't doing a party trick. They've just kept a slightly better connection to a system the rest of us lost. You are, right now, trying to point your ears at a predator that isn't there. Here's one that every single person watching has felt. Goosebumps. You get cold or scared, or you hear a piece of music that hits just right, and suddenly your skin prickles and the little hairs stand up. That's caused by tiny muscles at the base of each hair, called the erector pili. For a furry animal, this is genuinely clever. Fluff up the fur, and you trap a layer of warm air and look twice your size to a threat. For you, completely pointless. You don't have fur to fluff. So every time you get goosebumps, your body is faithfully running a survival program for a coat you no longer own, puffing up hair that isn't there to frighten off an enemy that, these days, is usually just a really good song. Now here's a stranger one. Have you ever felt a bug land on your arm a split second before you actually saw it? Or sensed someone's hand hovering near your skin just before it touched you? That's your body hair, doing something you never knew it could. Next to a chimp, you're basically bald. Just a thin coat of fine, almost invisible hairs that, as insulation, keep you about as warm as a cobweb. But every single one of those hairs is wired to a nerve at its root. So the whole coat works like an invisible tripwire stretched across your skin. Disturb one hair, and you feel it a moment before anything actually lands. Your fur vanished long ago, but it left the wiring behind, quietly turning your skin into a sensor you forgot you were wearing. At the very base of your spine, there's a small bone called the coccyx. Most people only ever think about it when they slip, land right on it, and then regret it for a week. That bone is your tail, or what's left of it. Your ancestors used a tail for balance, for grip, for swinging through the branches. Then we stood up and started walking on two legs. The tail became dead weight, and over millions of years, it shrank into a little stub and fused shut. But here's the twist. It didn't vanish completely, and now we know why. Several important muscles in your pelvis anchor directly onto it. So that's the quiet fate of your tail. After millions of years of balancing and gripping, it was demoted to a small anchor, holding a few of your pelvic muscles in place. This next one is my favorite because it's adorable and just a little haunting. Place a finger in a newborn baby's palm and the baby will instantly grip it, shockingly hard for something that small. Brush the sole of their foot and the toes curl in to grab as well. It's called the palmar grasp reflex, and babies have it for the first few months of life. Then it fades. Why would a baby be born already knowing how to grip? Because a long, long time ago, our infants had to cling to their mother's fur to survive, holding on for dear life while she moved, fed, and climbed. We lost the fur, we lost the need, but we never lost the instinct. Every newborn human still arrives knowing exactly how to hold on to a coat that disappeared a million years ago. And then there are the two troublemakers some of you will remember from last time. Your wisdom teeth were built for a bigger jaw, back when we spent all day chewing tough, raw plants. Then we learned to cook, our food got softer, our jaws got smaller, but nobody passed that memo to the wisdom teeth, so they keep showing up to a mouth that has no room for them. And of course, the appendix. Last video, I called it a retired organ that occasionally decides to rupture and take you with it. That's still completely true. But in fairness to the little guy, scientists now think it isn't totally useless after all. It may work as a kind of safe house for your gut bacteria, a backup reservoir that can repopulate your insides after an illness wipes them out. So it's less completely pointless and more, mostly retired, occasionally explosive. So why do you have all of this? Why is your body lugging around a muscle you can't feel, an eyelid you can't use, and a tail that isn't even there? Because evolution doesn't delete. It only stops maintaining. When a part stops being useful, nothing reaches in and removes it. It just slowly fades, generation after generation, for as long as it isn't actively hurting you. So it lingers, half-faded, switched off. And that is exactly what makes your body so strange and honestly kind of beautiful. It isn't a clean, finished machine. It's a living museum. Every one of these leftover parts is a receipt, proof of an animal you used to be. The climber, the swimmer, the furry one with a tail and ears that turned toward danger. They're all still in there, written quietly into your body. You're not just you. You're every creature your ancestors ever were, stacked one on top of the other, still, somehow, holding on. So tell me in the comments, could you wiggle your ears? Did the cord pop up in your wrist? Or are you one of the lucky 10% who came up empty? I genuinely want to know which leftovers you're carrying around. And if you found this strange, the last video, the one where I explain why your entire body is basically a bad design, pairs with this one perfectly. Your appendix makes a cameo in both. Until then, take care of your beautifully broken design. It's the only one you'll ever get. Now go look at something ordinary, like it's strange. Weird, right?